Hey, this is Randy from Funeral Funds of America. In this video, I'm going to show you the actual cost for $15,000 worth of burial, cremation, final expense, life insurance, or funeral funds for a 62-year-old female. Now, first thing you need to understand is you can go directly to our website, and we've got this quoter on just about every page, and you just select the state that you live in. We are licensed in all 50 states, by the way, and then select the coverage amount. And then just fill in your birthday and the rest of this info. Get quotes right now. And it will take you to a page that's going to show you all the best insurance companies with all the lowest rates. And you'll be able to compare everything out there. And especially you'll be able to compare those companies that you see advertising on TV and magazines that have these like ridiculously low teaser rates that are for a super small amount of coverage. And then when you call them up, they try upselling you, and a lot of times those plans are like 200% more expensive. So use our quoter to find out what's going to be the best deal out there. And you can also call us at 888-862-9456. That's our toll-free number. One of our agents can help get you pricing. Now, first thing you need to understand is a 62-year-old female looking for $15,000. Is that going to be appropriate for your final expense needs? Well, it kind of depends what you want done after you're gone, but typically that would be cremation or burial. Now, the average cost of a cremation right now in the United States is between $1,000 to $2,000. That's if you come home in a cardboard box or an urn. And if you're going to have some sort of a ceremony and be cremated, that would be probably between $3,500 to $4,500 on average. So we would typically recommend coverage-wise for that cremation where you come home in a cardboard box or an urn, maybe $5,000 to $7,000. If you're going to have that ceremony in the cremation, maybe between $7,000 to $10,000. So we want to get a little bit more insurance than the actual cost of the service or whatever the funeral home's doing, because we don't expect you to die right now. You're 62. We hope you make it 72, 82 years old. So we want to build in a little bit extra coverage in there. Just if you live a long life, that there's always going to be money there. But what that does is in the short term, it provides a little extra money to take care of some other final expenses, maybe medical bills or stuff like that. And then in the long term, we just cover the cost of inflation so that, somewhere down the road, there's still going to be enough money to pay for all of this. Now, we don't recommend getting $25,000 or $30,000. Typically, a person would do that is they just want to leave money behind for family or loved ones. And typically, we don't see that working out very well because most people we help are on a fixed or limited income. And when they look at that 25 or 30,000, they go, oh, there's no way I can do that. And then they don't do anything at all. And that puts their family at risk. So if all you can afford is 5,000 or 10,000 or whatever it is, just get that, because we can always help you add more coverage later. Now, for a burial, the average cost of a burial right now in the United States is right around $10,000. And so if you walk into a funeral home with a check for $10,000, chances are they're going to get it done. But I can tell you one thing, it's not going to be anything fancy, right? It'd be very kind of a meager affair, but they should get it done. I can't imagine if you walk into a funeral home with a $10,000 check, they're going to say no and let you walk down the road to one of their competitors who will say yes. But just understand that at age 62, that $10,000 is not going to be enough at age 72 or 82. So we would typically recommend getting probably 10 to 15,000, maybe even 20,000, depending on your financial situation. But again, if you're on a tight or limited budget, get the $10,000. It'll take care of your most immediate needs. We can always help you add more coverage later. Now, we do recommend getting first day coverage or benefits. We really recommend you avoid the 2-year waiting period plans, and we'll get into that in just a moment. But what first day coverage means is that hypothetically, if you were approved for a policy and it went in force today and you died tomorrow, the insurance company would have to pay out that $15,000 or $20,000, whatever your policy was, even though you'd only lived an extra one day. That's the type of coverage you want. Now, a lot of people would say, well, I like the first day coverage, but I'm not in the best of health, and I'm a little bit worried that I won't qualify for, because those first day coverage plans ask health questions. And we say, yeah, they do, but that's our problem. That's not your problem. And that's why we work with so many different insurance companies, as they all ask different health questions and they all have different underwriting requirements. And really, 95% of the time we're getting people first day coverage or benefits. So we're terrific at what we do. The only reason you wouldn't qualify for first day coverage is if you had some really significant health issues going on, like maybe you had a terminal illness and you're going to pass away in the next 12 months, or maybe you had dementia, or you're on dialysis, or you were in a hospital or in a nursing home. If that were the case, we would typically refer you out to a different insurance company. Something else that happens, seems like on a weekly basis, is somebody will call up and say, hey, we had a family member pass away and this last week, and they didn't have insurance, and we don't have any money. Now their body's at the funeral home, and the funeral director is not going to do anything till he gets a check in his hand. So we need to get this insurance really quick so we can get a check in our hand to get a check to the funeral director. And we have to tell these people that there's no insurance company in the United States that's going to offer an insurance policy on somebody who's already dead. It doesn't work out that way. Have to actually be alive to get this insurance. And it's terrible. It's absolutely terrible that somebody passed away and didn't care enough about their family to take care of this in advance. And now they've pushed this financial burden onto the family. And in many cases, they're going to have to put this on financing or credit cards. And, may take 3, 4, 5, 6, 10 years, who knows, whatever it is, to pay it off if they've got a limited income. And it could have all been solved if they'd just taken out an insurance policy. It's affordable. You can afford this. Don't leave this for your family. Don't be that person. What a terrible legacy to leave behind, that every time your name comes up, people are thinking, oh man, yeah, they forced us to pay for that. And, we're still paying on it. And emotionally, it was just a terrible time in our lives. So don't be that person. Get this insurance now. Don't wait too long. Let's talk about that first day coverage as opposed to 2-year waiting periods. So Colonial Penn is probably one of the more well-known companies out there for 2-year waiting periods. Their $9.95 plan is a 2-year waiting period. If you've seen the commercials on TV and you thought, oh, this seems like a good deal, 2-year waiting period. And there's other companies out there that have 2-year waiting periods too, like Mutual of Omaha, they're United of Omaha, and AIG, Gerber, and a bunch of different other ones. And the only thing they offer is that 2-year waiting period, some of them. So some of those companies have done an amazing job of convincing the American public that the only thing they qualify for is a 2-year waiting period, to which we say, do not believe such nonsense. We help people with first day coverage all day long. So another thing, a lot of 62-year-old females would look at that Colonial Penn commercial and go, oh my gosh, $9.95. I can afford that. I'm probably going to get $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, maybe even $50,000 for $9.95. And then they call Colonial Penn and talk with an agent and find out, oh, that's not the case. Or they log into their website, like we've done for you, and find out that for a 62-year-old female, 1 unit of coverage, $9.95, it's only going to pay $1,420. Now, $1,420, that'll pay for a cremation, in most parts of the country right now. But remember, with the Colonial Penn, you're going to have a 2-year waiting period, and it's not going to pay out anything in that first 2 years if you die of a health or medical reason. Yeah, why would you get a policy that's not going to take care of your needs? It's not going to pay out for 2 years. And, a lot of people would say that some of these companies out there that offer these super low rates, they've kind of just got one thing in mind, getting you on the phone and then upsell, upsell, upsell. Now, we're not saying that's the case, but a lot of people would say that. But let's take a look and see what $15,000, see if we can even come close. Now, you won't be able to get $15,000 on the nose because of this per unit pricing. They sell per unit, not per coverage amount. And that drives a lot of people bonkers because you got to just play around with numbers here. Let's see what it would be. I'm going to guess around 10 units, 14,200. But no, I got it wrong. We got to go up to 11 units. Okay, so yeah, roughly around $110 for roughly around $15,000. Now you might go, is that a good deal or not? Well, let's go look at our quoter and find out what first day coverage would be and see if we can save you some money. I'm guessing we can. So let's see. We've got $15,000 here. We've got female, age 62, And let's click Get Quote. And let's go back and look at this. Roughly $15,000 for roughly $110. And look at this. You can get first day coverage from 3 different companies for right around $52. Now, if you look at that, 52 versus 110, Colonial Penn is right at or near 200% higher. And Colonial Penn will allow you to overpay on your policy every day for the rest of your life, and they will force you to have that 2-year waiting period. And overpaying on that premium really adds up. So if we go back and look here, yeah, that is that 52 to 109. That's roughly $57 more a month that you're going to overpay every single month for the rest of your life. So that's $684 a year you're overpaying. Ouch. And if our 62-year-old female lives another 10 years, you're going to overpay roughly $6,840. That's a lot of money that you could have kept in your own pocket. It's a lot of money that you could have spent on your family and your loved ones having fun rather than giving that insurance money to the insurance company, rather than giving your personal money to an insurance company. Why would you do that? Now, you'll see there's 3 different companies here, all at $52. We would definitely recommend some over others because, like here, Trinity Life Insurance Company, we like them. We actually prefer them for a number of reasons. Very flexible underwriting. We get a lot of people approved. Also, you get an answer the same day over the phone. So when you decide to move on this, you can get an answer on an approval right away versus some of these other companies where it may take days or weeks and perhaps even a month or so in some cases to get an approval. And we just think that, spending an extra, 30, 40 cents a month in some cases is worth it from that standpoint alone. But also, you've got to look at the follow-up service. Trinity Life, in this case, amazing follow-up service. And just miles ahead of everybody else in our experience. So there's reasons why we might want to look at one company versus the other. But let's take a look here. Let's go down and look at some other insurance companies. You'll be able to see all these different insurance companies here. And, oh, yeah, like Lincoln Heritage. They're a fine company, I guess. But I mean, look at that pricing. It's much more, $75. It is level first day coverage. But they've got a deal where when you pass away, they'll supposedly call 2-3 different funeral homes and get the lowest pricing and maybe do a couple other things, but they charge a premium for that. They charge extra for that. That's not free. So it's $75 versus $52. So that's roughly $23 extra a month. And you may go, oh, that's not a lot, but I mean, it adds up. That's $276 a year. And after 10 years, our 62-year-old female is now 72. She would have overpaid right around $2,760. So you've got to ask yourself, is it worth paying an insurance company roughly $2,670 more to make 2 or 3 phone calls and maybe do a couple other things that might only take an hour or so? A lot of people would say that's a pretty hefty payday for an insurance company, and we would tend to agree. So what we've done at Funeral Funds of America is we provided you a free option, and we provide a funeral and estate planning guide, and you can just download that off our website and print it out, and you just fill it out, and who gets what goes where, and then just fill out exactly what you want done after you're gone, and you keep that with your insurance policy, and that way when you pass away, your family members protected both financially and also emotionally. The financial part is they've got the life insurance, and then emotionally they've got this funeral and estate planning guide where you've spelled out everything for them. And they will know that you, at a time when you were alive, you were actually thinking of a time where you wouldn't be here, and you were thinking about protecting them and taking care of their every needs, both financially and emotionally. And what a wonderful gift to leave behind. What a wonderful legacy. They will know that they were loved and cared for, both in life and in death. And that is just the ultimate compliment in life, that somebody feels that well about you and what you did for them. So go to funeralfunds.com. We've got these quarters on every page. For our YouTube viewers, we do have a special quarter, funeralfunds.com/YouTube, and you can get the best rates and most discounts on that. And you can call us at 888-862-9456. One of our agents can help you out with this. But we look forward to helping you out with this. And it doesn't matter, if you've got an existing policy and you just want to price shop it to make sure you got the best deal, we can help you out with that. If you just want to add coverage to your existing policy, we can help you out with that. If you are looking for brand new coverage, we can help you out with that. And if you just have any questions, of course, we can help you out with that. So we look forward to the day we help you get the most coverage for the least amount of money. And we just want to be the one that helps you do that and protects your family. Until that day comes, you stay safe, you take care, you have a nice day. Bye-bye.